It's been a weird day. Some of you guys who live in the United States might have heard about, and that's my police scanner going right there, by the way. Uh, you guys might have heard about a wanted man on the loose in Southern California for going on a cop killing spree. A former LAPD police officer feels like he was wrongfully terminated back in 2009, and then he just got discharged from the Navy because he was a Navy Reserve and he was apparently Special Forces, and it is just all kinds of crazy. And all this is happening right here in the area where I live. He set his car on fire up in Big Bear and Mountain, and it's been all over the news. In fact, all day at work today, we were listening to the radio and watching the. I hate when my collar's not even. That really bothers me. Anal retentive over stupid things. Anyway, so we were just listening to the radio about, just the turn of events, and it's crazy. I mean, it's like this is going to turn into some sort of a movie. He tied a guy up in San Diego and tried to steal a boat. That didn't work. And so he drove up. I got to rewind. 2 weeks ago, apparently he killed. I got to rewind even farther, I guess. Quick story. Just make it very, very quick. Apparently, back in 2009 or whatever, he reported his FTO or field training officer about some abuse that he thinks went on against the suspect, and so then the review board reviewed it and said that they feel that he was lying, and so then he appealed, and they said he was lying, and he appealed one more time, I think, and then the highest appeals that you could go as a police officer felt that he was lying, and so they arrested him. I can't even freaking talk. They fired him because they felt that he was lying, and so he took like this crazy vendetta against law enforcement, and so he then was a naval reserve the whole time and did special forces, I guess. It was intelligence. He was an officer. He was a lieutenant in the Navy, and he was just discharged on Friday, 2 days before he went and killed the daughter and the daughter's fiance of the man who defended him in this whole review or this board in the LAPD that fired him. So he killed that guy's daughter and fiance on Sunday. And then early this morning, I guess late last night, it was like 1 a.m, he was in San Diego and tried to steal a boat, and that didn't work. And so he came up and driving up through Corona, LAPD officers, he made all sorts of threats. He wrote like this whole letter and these against these like 40 police officers that he vowed that he was going to kill for whatever reason, because he's totally lost his mind. And so LAPD was stationing security outside of these people, these LAPD officers' families' homes that were mentioned, because he obviously would go after family. He said that family was fair game and that he was going to make them all orphans and whatever. And so he shot up an LAPD police car in Corona, which is not where LA jurisdiction, but they were there. They were in the area to protect these other officers' homes. And then he shot up that car and wounded one of those officers by shooting him in the head. It like grazed him, I guess. And then he, 20 minutes later in Riverside, ambushed a police car with an assault rifle and killed one of those cops and like severely wounded another, and then took off again. And they found his car later today up in Big Bear Mountain on fire, and they don't know where this guy's at. But law enforcement in California right now is just like freaking out because they've never been under siege like this. Like they've never had anyone with this type of training and this type of capability wage war on them. And so in another part of LA early in the morning, again, they were outside of various homes protecting other officers that were listed in this public memo that said that he was going to go and kill these people. These two elderly women were driving in a pickup truck that was somewhat similar. The only thing that was similar really was that it was a truck, but that matched I guess what they felt was the description. And so, like newspaper delivery people do, they tend to drive around with their lights off really slow. And here they came, approaching the car where the LAPD was stationed out front of, or approaching the house, delivering newspapers. Where the LAPD, I guess, thought it was him, and so they like shot the shit out of the car. They shot these two elderly women one in the hand and one in the back. I mean, they were like pretty superficial wounds, but still, they don't know if it was shotguns or what, but there were just like this truck was just riddled with bullets, just everywhere. It was like, oh my god. And so now it's creating this huge divide amongst the public even more, where a lot of people already believe California and the United States in general is becoming a police state. And so it's just strengthening that movement of people who are anti, police, where now they're shooting up innocent people. And then right around the corner from that incident, not even that, like a few minutes later, I guess they were another Torrance police were responding to that shooting. And then they crashed into a truck, and they're like, oh my God, it's a truck. It must be him. So they started shooting up that truck. And these are just innocent people that had nothing to do with any of this stuff. So police are really on edge around here. And the type of vehicle this guy was driving apparently was a Nissan Titan, a dark-colored Nissan Titan. And I was giving my coworker a hard time all day today. I'm like, oh, dude, because he drives a Nissan Titan, a dark blue one. And all day long, I was like, man, you better drive with your windows down so that they can see that you're not, the description of this guy they're looking for. I was like, you're going to get shot up. It was nice knowing you. You're going to die because you're driving a Titan, so they're going to kill you. And then I told him that I was going to call in a tip. And I was going to say that, hey, there's a Nissan Titan over here, and this guy matches the description. So we were just giving him a hard time. But it's just a weird place to be in right now, because my mom used to work for the law enforcement, or for the police department. I've got a friend who's a police officer. I've got a cousin who's a police officer in Los Angeles. And so it's like, wow, one of my Facebook friends is a former sheriff deputy. And so I know like the personal side of a lot of police officers, and I know that they have a game face versus a real face. And so a lot of times people will think they're dicks, but it's just kind of the nature of the job sometimes. And I wanted to do law enforcement. In fact, I if I could get hired tomorrow with the law enforcement agency, I would do it, because I've always wanted to be a police officer, as weird as that may seem to some of you. And so it's just a really weird day today in law enforcement. And I've just been listening to my scanner all day, because, you learn more in the scanner than you do on the news and stuff. And so it was just kind of like, they haven't found this guy. He's vowed to go down in a fight. So it's going to get ugly. There's going to be more going on. I mean, and he's probably only going to strike at night, because let's face it, these special forces and all these things happen at night. He knows that. So it's been a crazy night. And a lot of the stuff you're hearing on the scanner, man, they are on edge. So I just thought I'd share that. It was been really weird in California today. Very, very strange. And I'm going to try and get my wife on one of these vlogs to kind of get an outside perspective to some of you people who have families and are thinking about weight loss surgery and some of the things that I've talked about. She's a bit shy. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk her into it. May not be soon, but we'll see. But other than that, had a friend yesterday, a friend's wife had her gastric bypass surgery, and she's doing really, really well. In fact, day 2, now she says she's not even really having any more pain. And so, just another person changing their life by getting an old snip and tuck.